Hey y'all, this is the second edition of the Corona Special Birmingham Real Estate Market Update. I'm Rob Drum. I'm a real estate broker here with eXp Realty in Birmingham, Alabama. And today we are going through the statistics from the last week in Birmingham real estate. We're really hyper-focused on what's happening each week of this crisis, trying to really keep our finger on the pulse of what's happening in the market, what's happening with closings, what's happening with financing, what's happening with prices. And so this is our way of staying on top of everything. We're going to go through all the statistics and see what kind of trends are starting to form, if any, and then we're going to look at some opportunities. I think it's really important during this time to stay on top of all the opportunities that are available to you. There's a huge stimulus plan that just got passed, and there's something in it for everyone. So, you know, we're talking about grant money that doesn't have to be paid back or used as a tax credit. They're making it very easy, and so I definitely want to make sure you learn about that, whether it's from me or there's lots and lots of sources out there now. So, and then if you like this, if you will share this video on Facebook, I'm going to pick somebody who shared it to win a $50 gift card to whatever their favorite restaurant is in Birmingham. If you win, you pick it. Just tell me which restaurant you like, and I'll get you a $50 gift card. So let's get started on statistics. So for the last week, we had 456 closings, and that compares to the week before, we had 396, so about 60 more closings this week. So we actually had more closings than the previous week, which is interesting. And so we compare that to, this is from the same periods last year. Real estate is very seasonal, so you can get a lot of information from comparing to the same time period from a previous year. So what we saw last year was the same week, a week ago, we had 618 closings, and the week before that, we had 439. So a similar kind of acceleration, just seasonally. This is a time when closing should be picking up, more and more people should be buying, and these are again closings, so it takes about 30 days to close a real estate transaction. So a lot of these went under contract like a month ago, and they're just now closing and giving us this data. So that's something to keep in mind as we roll through the next month and staying on top of the market. So we did have, from last year to this year, we did have less closings each week, year over year. So that's something to pay attention to. And then we're also just trying to stay on top of the percentage of closings that are cash transactions. Right now, we're looking at kind of no change as far as cash transactions. I think it's important to pay attention to, because financing is such a huge part of real estate, and with financial markets kind of being tossed around, financing could be in question. And if we're seeing that, that's something that would be important to note. If we're seeing a lot more of our transactions be cash, just tells you something about the market and where we're at. And then here's just kind of a snapshot last week and then this week of the number of active listings and the number of contingent or pending listings that are under contract to sell. So we really saw actually an small increase in active listings, and we saw a small decrease in the number of properties that are contingent, pending, under contract to sell in the next 30 to 60 days. So we're going to just see, how that evolves over the next couple weeks as we see more and more shutdowns. We also see the stimulus coming into the market, and we also are getting some data from other markets that have gone through the same thing. And what we're seeing, and we're getting into opportunities now. So what we're seeing is in China, where they have been in lockdown a little longer than us, they're seeing right now, they're kind of coming out of lockdown, and they're seeing, while they had a huge drop in volume of sales, they're seeing a really big spike in sales. Everyone's wanting to buy and sell and get moving after their shutdown. And I think that's what we're going to see here, just kind of a big wave. So if you're a realtor or if you're involved in the real estate industry in any form or fashion, get ready to be hopefully very busy when that happens. When we come out of this, I think a lot of people are going to be looking to make moves. I've already got clients who were looking to sell and buy a new home, and it's not really time sensitive, so they're just kind of wait it out, which I think is probably the right move. But you know, once things pick up, I think it's going to pick up fast, and we should be pretty busy. Another thing that is kind of working in our favor is the stimulus that they just passed is massive. There's tons and tons of money that's going to be working through the system, and they're doing everything they can to get it directly into small business hands, employees' hands, people who got laid off in their hands, pretty much everyone. So the package really has something for everyone, and we can just start with like small business. So this is a very broad definition of small business. It's self-employed, it's 1099 contractors, S corps, obviously C corps, LLCs. They're making it a very broad description, and they're making it very easy to get these stimulus loans through SBA. That's kind of the main way that they're approaching it, is through SBA. And they have two programs right now that are pretty interesting. I sat on a call yesterday learning about these, as well as a couple other things that are out there. So the SBA loans, there's two. The first one is the Disaster Relief Loan, EIDL. That is available to apply right now. They streamlined the application, so it took me 30 minutes to go on the website. If you have your information together, 30 minutes. If you have to go search for it, maybe it's a little bit longer, but it's very streamlined. There's the biggest feature of that loan is a $10,000 forgivable advance. So when you apply, they will give you a $10,000 advance, and that amount is forgivable, and it's forgivable whether you take the loan, whether you get denied for the loan. It's basically just for applying, and it's going to be forgiven, and it's more or less serves as like a grant to small businesses. So that's kind of the quick and easy route to get disaster relief for your business that's been affected by the coronavirus. I mean, almost everyone has. So, so that's definitely something that you should be aware of. I already applied for that one. The other one is a little more complex, and it's not ready yet. The EIDL, you can apply directly on the SBA website. The PPP, which is Payroll Protection Program, it's a little more complex. It is available for the same group of people, self-employed, 1099, I think even K1s. No matter how you're making your living, you're going to have potential to get this loan. It could be larger than $10,000 depending on your situation. And as long as you do it right, it should be also forgivable. So you could be looking at 20, 30, 40,000 plus forgivable, depending on the size of your business. And that one is not ready yet. You have to, I think it's supposed to be hopefully Friday. And for that one, you have to go through an SBA banker. which is at, most banks that are processing SBA loans. It's a little more involved, but it could be significantly more money. The other thing that definitely just want to be aware of is unemployment. There's huge benefits for unemployment that were in the stimulus, and that's not the route that I'm going for relief here, but it is definitely a very viable route. And the thing is, it's viable even if you're self-employed. You can kind of look at either of these options. If you're self-employed and you're just not getting work, you're eligible for unemployment, is my understanding. I've not looked into this one as much, but it's something that I need to learn about, maybe over the next week, what they're doing for unemployment, because I have tenants who are unemployed and worried about paying rent, and with all the things that are out there for them, that should not be a worry at all. I mean, they're going to be, if they file for unemployment and take advantage of all the things that are in this bill for them, a lot of them should do really well. And so you want to stay on top of it. If you have tenants or employees or anyone who may qualify for the unemployment part of this, that's definitely something to be aware of also. And then if you, again, like I said, if you share this video on Facebook, I'll pick anyone who shared it. I'll pick someone next week, probably Tuesday, and buy them a $50 gift card to whatever local restaurant they like. Just try to keep the local economy, local businesses going here. And so thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching till the end here, and I'll see you guys next week.